Good evening, live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh, coming up in the next 30 minutes. Anutin Chanvirakul, elected new Prime Minister of Thailand, replaces Paetongtarn Shinawatra, ousted by court over unethical conduct. British Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner resigns, admits to underpaying property tax. Mauritius Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam to visit India from 9 to 16 September. Apart from Delhi, Prime Minister Ramgoolam will visit Mumbai, Varanasi, Ayodhya and Tirupati. And India's clean energy transition gets a major push, with the Wok port Tuticorin becoming the first port in the country to produce green hydrogen. Bhum Jatai Party leader Anutin Chanvirakul has been elected as the next Prime Minister of Thailand after parliamentary voting on Friday. His election ends the ongoing political chaos in Thailand after the dismissal of former Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra. The opposition People's Party backed Anutin's candidature in return for his promise to dissolve the parliament within 4 months. 58-year-old politician, who was also the Deputy Prime Minister under ruling coalition led by Paetongtarn's Pheu Thai party, had split earlier in June. This came after the then Prime Minister Shinawatra leaked phone call with former Cambodian leader Hun Sen on border disputes. He had also served as Minister of Public Health in Prayut Chan-o-cha's government from 2019 to 23 and as Interior Minister in the Pheu Thai-led government since 2023. Thailand has been reeling under political chaos after Constitutional Court dismissed Paetongtarn Shinawatra last month. Shinawatra was removed on the grounds of ethics violation. In other developments, a major blow to Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour government. UK Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner has resigned days after admitting to underpaying tax on a property in southern England. In a letter to Prime Minister Starmer, she says she takes full responsibility for the error of not seeking further tax advice on the purchase. Rayner acknowledged that she had underpaid property tax owed when she bought an apartment in southern English seaside resort of Hove. Prime Minister Starmer accepted her decision to resign, adding, "It's a painful decision to take." Rayner said she had decided to quit after the findings of an independent investigation, which concluded she did not, quote, heed the caution of legal advice she had received and had breached the ministerial code. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that any Western troops deployed to Ukraine would be legitimate targets for Moscow to attack, in a warning to Kiev's allies as they discuss measures for its future protection. Vladimir Putin was speaking a day after French President Macron said 26 countries had pledged to provide post-war security guarantees to Ukraine, including an international force on land, sea and in the air. Russia has long argued that one of its reasons for going to war in Ukraine was to prevent NATO from admitting Kiev as a member and placing its forces in Ukraine. Putin's comments highlighted the gulf between Moscow's position and that of Kiev and its Western allies on the shape of future security guarantees for Ukraine under any agreement to end the 3.5-year conflict. And earlier on Thursday, Kiev's European allies and Paris summit pledged to provide security guarantees to Ukraine after the peace deal is reached. French President Emmanuel Macron told reporters that 26 Western allies have formally committed to deploying troops by land, sea or air to Ukraine the day after a ceasefire deal is agreed.
26 countries have committed themselves to deploying troops in Ukraine as a reassurance force or to being present on ground, at sea or in the air to provide this reassurance to Ukrainian territory. and to Ukraine the day after the ceasefire or peace.
The meeting of 35 leaders from a coalition of mainly European countries was intended to finalize security guarantees. US contributions to the guarantees would be finalized in the coming days. French President, European leaders, Ukrainian President Zelensky held a call with US President Donald Trump after the Paris summit. Moving on, Israel on Thursday claimed its forces now control about 40% of Gaza City. Israeli military spokesperson Brigadier General Efi Defron in a news conference said the forces have seized large parts of the Zeton and Sheikh Radwan neighborhoods. He further said the operation will continue to expand and intensify in the coming days. Israeli military spokesperson reiterated that the campaign would only end when Hamas's control was dismantled and Israeli hostages were returned. Israel launched the latest offensive on Gaza City on the 10th of August, describing it as a mission to eliminate Hamas fighters entrenched in the area.
Today we hold 40% of Gaza City. The operation will continue to expand and intensify in the coming days. Hamas will face the Israeli armed forces in their full force in Gaza City. We will increase the pressure on Hamas until it's destroyed. We will continue to pursue them everywhere.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on Thursday Washington has told other countries that recognition of Palestinian state will cause more problems. Britain, France, Canada, Australia and Belgium have all said they will recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly later this month. The move are designed to put pressure on Israel to end its assault on Gaza and curtail the building of new Jewish settlements in the occupied West Bank. Rubio was speaking while on his visit to Ecuador. Rubio also said he would not opine on Israeli discussion on annexation of the West Bank, but that it was not final.
We told all these countries, we told them all. We said, if you guys do this recognition stuff, it's all fake. It's not even real. If you do it, you're going to create big problems. There's going to be a response from Israel. You're going to make it harder to get a ceasefire. And it may even trigger these sorts of actions that you've seen, or at least these attempts at these actions.
US President Donald Trump plans to sign an executive order on Friday to rename the Department of Defense as the Department of War. According to a White House fact sheet, the order would authorize Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Defense Department, subordinate officials to use secondary titles such as Secretary of War, Department of War, Deputy Secretary of War, and so on in official correspondence and public communications. Since taking office in January, Donald Trump has set out to rename a range of places and institutions, including the Gulf of Mexico, and to restore the original names of military bases that were earlier changed after racial justice protests. According to the order, the name of Department of War conveys a stronger message of readiness and resolve compared to Department of Defense, which emphasizes only defensive capabilities. Changing the name again will be costly, require updating signs and letterheads used not only by officials at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., but also military installations around the world. Czech opposition politician Andrej Babiš launched his party's election campaign on Thursday, taking aim at the government of Prime Minister Petr Fiala and the European Union. Babiš said government under ANO would be a defense against nonsense from Brussels. He pledged to stop sending weapons to Ukraine. Opinion polls for next month's parliamentary election show ANO winning most votes with over 30%. This time, as many as 7 parties could exceed 5% threshold to win seats in the parliament, meaning the next government is almost certain to be a coalition. The vote is scheduled for October 3rd and 4th. After a few years plagued by weak economy, Germany wants to innovate itself out of the crisis. But there's a problem. Germans are hesitant starting up new companies. Lars Holter is with Deutsche Welle and joins me from Berlin. Lars, what does that mean for Germany in terms of getting out of its economic crisis?
Well, it will make that much harder now, especially when we look at the more specific idea of literally coming out of the crisis by catching up to latest technologies and by innovating to a point where German companies might be global leaders in tech. We actually have a few of those, but their number, of course, pales in comparison to the US, China, and some other nations. Anyway, not only in tech, but also in other business fields. New ideas, of course, come through new companies. Startups disrupt otherwise often established sectors with constant workflows. New companies bring the outside-the-box kind of thinking that leads to innovation. The economists actually write in their treatment here, new ideas come from new companies in an overproportionate number. That is most notable with regards to digitalization, but also technology transfer and sustainability.
But why are the numbers so low? What keeps people from starting more businesses?
Sadly, it's the same old reasons we have known for years now. There's too much bureaucracy, top of the list, of course, as a problem for most entrepreneurs. It's hard to start a business in Germany. The process takes a lot longer than in some other countries. So that's definitely something the government has to take note of, because this could be changed relatively quickly if the political will is there and the administration would actually be willing to cut down on red tape. But there's other problems as well, including, of course, once again, high energy prices. Those are a problem for energy-intensive business, including in tech. Now, at the same time, of course, while Germany has a lot of problems, it also provides a lot that those who end up starting a business actually appreciate. I just, for example, read about the founders of Black Forest Labs. That is a startup dealing with AI in photos and video. They say that they decided against moving to Silicon Valley and to stay in Germany because of the easier access here to free and open-minded research, because of freedom of speech issues and the reliability of institutions that they say they find in Germany. Now, that sounds a lot like a dig against the US, and truth be told, as that country is becoming less attractive for some business starters, Germany tries to become a more attractive target and reverse the current downward trend.
Lars Holter, thank you. Health authorities in Democratic Republic of Congo have declared a new outbreak of the Ebola virus. The latest outbreak killed 16 people so far. 28 suspected cases have been recorded in the central Kasai province. World Health Organization has said case numbers were likely to increase as transmission was ongoing. Ebola is a rare but often fatal illness in humans. It is transmitted through contact with blood and other bodily fluids. Congo has recorded over a dozen outbreaks, and the last one in 2022 in the Aquatics province. A devastating 2018-20 outbreak killed nearly 2,300 people in the country. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Bhutan Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay visits Ram Temple in Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh. Afghanistan continues to reel under earthquakes.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the Economic Brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh. Mauritian Prime Minister Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam will visit India from 9th to 16th of September. India's Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal informed that this would be Prime Minister Ramgoolam's first overseas visit in his present term.
The Prime Minister of Mauritius, His Excellency Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam, will undertake a state visit to India from 9 to 16th of September 2025. This will be the first overseas bilateral visit of Prime Minister Dr. Ram Ghulam to India in his present term.
On White House trade advisor Peter Navarro's provocations over India's purchase of Russian oil, MEA spokesperson termed them as inaccurate and misleading, saying India rejects them.
This relationship between United States and India is very important for us. Both our countries, we share a comprehensive global strategic partnership which is anchored in our shared interests, democratic values and robust people-to-people ties. This partnership has weathered several transitions, as I said before, and challenges. We remain focused on the substantive agenda that our two countries have committed to, and we hope that the relationship will continue to move forward based on mutual respect and shared interests. We have seen the inaccurate and misleading statements made by Mr. Navarro, and obviously we reject them.
And on Russia-Ukraine conflict, India has extended support for its early end and establishment of an enduring peace. MEA spokesperson said India welcomes all the recent efforts towards establishing peace in Ukraine.
As far as the Ukraine conflict is concerned, we welcome all the recent efforts towards establishing peace in Ukraine. We hope that all parties will proceed ahead constructively. India supports an early end of the conflict and the establishment of an enduring peace.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has called on Bhutan's Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay in New Delhi. Jaishankar conveyed warm greetings of Prime Minister Modi to his counterpart. In a post on X, Minister Jaishankar says that India and Bhutan's unique and time-tested partnership continues to move from strength to strength. He thanked Prime Minister Tobgay for his leadership and guidance. Earlier, Bhutan Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay, accompanied by his wife Tashi Dama, and official entourage, visited the Ram Mandir at Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh today. Prime Minister Tobgay is on India visit until Saturday, when he will meet External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. The visit comes after Tobgay's earlier trip to India in February, during which he participated in the inaugural leadership conclave of School of Ultimate Leadership, inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. The MEA noted that back-to-back visits underscores the continued close cooperation, deepening ties between India and Bhutan. A landmark day for India's clean energy transition. India's Shipping Minister Sarbananda Sonowal inaugurated the green hydrogen pilot project at Bio Chidamnara Port, Tuticorin, making it India's first port to produce green hydrogen. Established at a cost of 3.87 crore rupees, the facility will produce 10 normal cubic meters of gas per hour of green hydrogen, marking a significant step in fulfilling Prime Minister Modi's National Green Hydrogen Mission and India's net zero commitments. India's Minister for Transport and Highways, Nitin Gadkari, awarded the 7th FICCI Road Safety Awards to corporates, schools, and 5 different categories for their outstanding work and contribution in road safety. He listed several key initiatives meant to save lives in road accidents, including a Rs 25,000 reward per incident under Rabir scheme, Good Samaritans who assist road accident victims.
हमारे देश में लगभग 4,80,000 से 5 लाख एक्सीडेंट होते हैं और 1,80,000 मौतें होती है और 66.4% जो डेथ है वो 18 to 45 ईयर्स में होती है। इस एज ग्रुप के लोग होते हैं। इसमें जवान लड़के लड़कियां भी है, पढ़े लिखे लड़के लड़कियां हैं। ये जो हमारे देश का रोड एक्सीडेंट के कारण 3% जीडीपी का नुकसान होता है।
Let's turn to some weather updates from India now. The heavy downpour in West Indian state of Punjab has caused widespread damage in various districts. The floods have submerged many villages, including India-Pakistan border in Firozpur, Fazilka in over 1,900 villages been affected due to the disaster. 43 lives have been lost, while 3 people have been reported missing. Also, River Gaga has crossed the danger mark. Rescue and relief agencies have rescued over 20,000 people to safer locations so far. While in Jammu, after several days of continuous rainfall, the weather cleared, bringing much relief to the people. The weather remains clear, and according to the Met Department, fair conditions are expected to continue in the coming days, with only light showers in some areas. With the improvement in weather, schools are likely to reopen from Monday. Meanwhile, the government has assured full support and relief measures for the flood-affected families across the region. Let's now turn to other stories making news today. 4 teams of National Disaster Relief Force were deployed in Delhi's Kalindi Kunj area after parts of the locality were flooded due to Yamuna River swelling over the danger mark. Over 1,180 people were rescued by the NDRF. Air India Flight 1028 operating from Delhi to Indore made a priority landing on Friday morning at Indore Airport after the pilot identified a technical snag. The problem reportedly arose due to suspected oil filter. Moradabad Municipal Corporation set up a dog salon vehicle offering comprehensive dog care services to cater to the needs of pet dogs. The initiative promotes animal care, aligns with government's vision of supporting pet lovers. In sports, India's Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports, Mansukh Mandavia, unveiled the logo and mascot of Jalveer in New Delhi on Friday for the 11th Asian Aquatics Championship. The championship will take place from 1st to 15th October in Ahmedabad. Swimmers from Japan and South Korea are expected to compete at the continental meet, marking the tournament's first edition in the country. The championship will feature swimming, diving, artistic swimming and water polo. The 10th Asian Age Group Championship in 2019 was the last international swimming event hosted by India. Sports Minister Mandavia posts on X, and I quote, "Congratulations to the Swimming Federation of India and Government of Gujarat for their dedicated efforts in bringing this prestigious event to Bharat. Under leadership of Prime Minister Modi, Bharat is emerging as a global sporting destination equipped with world-class facilities and an inspiring ecosystem for athletes." After beating Malaysia comfortably in the second Super Force match, Team India will now shift its focus on Saturday's clash against China. In an exclusive conversation with DD India correspondent Gaurav Kumar, India hockey coach Craig Fulton shared his thoughts on the victory against Malaysia and the team's preparations for the third and final Super Force encounter.
So finally, India won their Super 4 match. It was the second match against Malaysia, and they have won comfortably, 4-1. Right now, we have with us Indian hockey team coach Craig Fulton. Craig, lots of congratulations, first of all, for winning this match comfortably.
Well, it looked, probably the scoreline looked comfortable, but it was a tough first half. We went down, obviously, in the first minute or so, but came back nicely. And all credit to the guys. We got 4 goals on the bounce and played our plan and did well.
What the spirit do you given to the team? Because once it looks that Malaysia has break the barrier and goals in a few minutes after starting the match.
It's 60 minutes is a long time, but we knew we had the game plan. We just had to be patient, and then we took our moments and scored some nice goals together, some nice team goals.
In last match, we have seen that Indian team got 6 penalty corners, but they haven't converted it. But this time they converted. So what did you say to the team when they go back?
Just patience. You know, we have a plan, and if we get it right, we get it right. If we don't, we go and look again. And Chugraj hit the post, and we got a nice rebound goal. So out of the, I think I had 5 or 6. That was a good return.
How do you see next Open in China?
Yeah, it's just a new game. We obviously played them in the first game, and we look forward to the recovery tomorrow. We'll have a look at the game, and we'll get ready for the match against China.
So this is Craig Fulton, Indian hockey team coach, who's saying that they are looking up against the next match, and he's very much confident that Indian team will go through to their next match, and they will definitely make their chances for the final. With cameraman Saurabh Bakshi, this is Gaurav Kumar reporting from Rajgir, Bihar, DD India.
That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS. Scan the QR code on the screen. Download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Shubhendu Ghosh from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.